Hi guys, DJ80 here, and today I'm going to be doing a review of some uplighters. As you know, every now and then I like to take a punt on some Chinese products, and today I've got a pair of uplighters which I brought from here, and let's take a look at them. So here's the uplighters. I ordered these on a Sunday evening from eBay, and on the Thursday I got a message from DHL and they asked for £40 import fees and delivery. So it was a bit more than I expected. If you'd had a look at the diamond shaped light that I brought from China, my import fees were considerably cheaper than that. So £40 was a considerable amount, but it might be something to do with the weight of these because they're very heavy for their size. So I paid that, and they were delivered on the Saturday. So 1 week all the way from China. When I bought these on eBay, the eBay listing I think was £86, and as you can see from that picture that I've just shown you, they've gone up to 130 something pound. So that might actually include the postage, because it does say underneath it free postage, but obviously you'll need to check that yourself. If it doesn't include the postage, you'll be looking at £20 per light by the looks of things on top of the eBay price, so just bear that in mind. Right, here's what we've got in a package then. Each one comes with its own little manual and its own little remote control, which I'll show you there. I can just focus. So we have an on and off button. You have different colors to choose from. You've got the strobe effect, fade and smooth. I'll check them in a moment, but I've got a feeling smooth is the equivalent of sound to light. You also get a power lead with each one, and these are the new type. I think they're Speakon power leads, and so they slot in, and you get the unit itself. Let's just bring that a bit closer so you can see it. So this is a really nice solid looking unit here. I haven't switched it on yet, just showing you all the way around. And it's got a nice little carry handle, and then underneath we have some connections. So this area here is where you plug in the power to charge it. You've got your on-off switch, and then you can daisy them as well. So you can plug one in and get a connector cable which will run from this unit to another unit, so that you don't have to plug the other unit into a plug socket. And it's also DMXable as well. As we can see here, we have DMX ports in and out. These are DMXable with cables, but they're also wireless DMXable as well. In the side of each unit you get a little aerial which you just push in there, and then that pops out, and that will pick up your wireless DMX signal. Also on the bottom they're tiltable. They have a little hinge. Right, I'm going to try and do this one-handed, so bear with me. But you push that bit in, this little lever here, and then when you push it in, you get a little adjustable bracket there, so you can adjust the height or the angle on the unit. So let's switch one of these bad boys on and see what we got. Let's have a look at the front of the screen here. So I'll just try and focus that, which I'm not doing very well. There we go. So we have at the top here the remote sensor. That's for the remote control. And we also have a little signal, a little flashing light here, which will tell you when the wireless signal is connected as well. So that's kind of handy if you are using wireless DMX. Then this is our main panel here. So at the top, on the left hand side, you've got your signal strength. There where it says IR means it's receiving the signal from the remote control. The 0 degrees, I believe, is the working temperature of the unit. So you can keep an eye on how hot it is as it's running. Then you've got 100% for the battery. I've just charged it. And where it says infrared control stop, that's where I switched it off using the remote control. So if I take my controller, just zoom out a little bit here, and we'll say let's go for red. There we go. Got a nice red beam, green. I'm not sure if you're seeing the colour very well on my phone, but blue. Okay, and then if I switch off, infrared off. I really like this display. It's a little digital display, and it's quite modern when you consider some of the little displays that you get on lights. This is quite nice. So I'm going to press the menu button and we'll see what we've got. So here on the menu you have the option for DMX, shows, sound, color, setup and help. So if I press that down for help, setup, color, sound, so I can pick one of those using these controllers. Now I don't actually use DMX in my set at the moment. I'm all about these little controllers. So most of my lights that I use on my gigs all have these little remote controls, and I'm quite happy at the beginning of the night to just go around and change my lights using these remote controls. But I do know obviously some of you are well into your DMXing, and you find that much easier as well. So you've obviously got the menus here to go into that. I'm not even going to attempt to show you the menus for DMXing because I don't know much about it, so I won't be helping you and I'll just be confusing myself. I will just have a quick look in the setup. So we've got background color, battery, let's see what that says. On. Okay. Temperature. On. Oh, okay, so that's what's on the screen. Manual. What's that do? Okay, now there was a password in the booklet. I remember seeing that. I'm just going to come out of that for the moment. Restore to factory settings, fan speed, LCD close time. Oh, okay, so this might be where you can input this LED screen to close, so it's not illuminated during the evening. Let's have a quick look. Yeah, that looks about right, doesn't it? So if I go to 5 seconds, enter, and then come out. Let's see if that goes off in a few seconds time. And it does. We'll have that. Okay. I wonder what that one is. No good deed goes unpunished. Okay, let me just... Enough. I'm not sure what that backlight is. Let's have a look. I don't know what that backlight is, but I'll have a play with it. But as you can see, it is nice, user friendly. I think I'm finding that okay to work with. Let's leave it as was. Just have a quick look at that colour. What's that? Custom colour. Oh. Wow. Okay. This is interesting. So you can actually go into each particular colour, the main ones that you've got in the remote control, and then you can actually adjust their brightness. So let's okay, I won't show you that for now because I could be fannying about with this for quite a long time. So I'm going to leave it as is for the moment, and what I'm going to show you now is what they look like up against the wall. So I didn't really give you an idea of size whilst they were on the floor, so I've just put a little box of roses next to them, so you've got an idea of how big they are. There we go. So they're not massively huge units, and I've just turned the lights off indoors, and now I'm just going to use the remote control. It's a universal remote control, so one remote control will work both units. And here's what they look like. Try a bit green, a bit blue. That looks quite good, doesn't it? White. Try fade. What do you reckon to that then? Not bad. So what I'm going to do next is actually just leave these on, and so you have, or we have, an idea of how long they last. I'm going to actually stick them on a static colour for now. Let's go for, I need something that's not going to concern the neighbours, so I'll put it on blue, and the time at the moment is 20 to 3 in the afternoon. So 20 to 3, I'll just leave these running now. I'm going to put them in another room, and we'll see how long the battery lasts. The battery on both of them was starting out at 100%, and so yeah, we'll just see how we get on. Okay, the time now is 6:15, so they've been running for about 3.5 hours, and we can just have a quick look at the screen here, which tells us this one has 70% power left, and then this one has 75%. Also, I've just realised this screen has been on all the time whilst they're on as well, so I could probably save a little bit of power if I switch that screen to go off after a few seconds. But I've had it on now for these last 3.5 hours, so I'll leave it on for these as well for the rest of the time. And I'll just stick them up against the wall, and you can see what they're like. Okay, so I've got the light on indoors, and I'm just going to go and switch the light off now, and we'll see what difference that makes. Okay, the time is now 10 to 8 in the evening, so they've been on for just over 5 hours now, and if we just have a look, that one there, can't focus, that one has 65%, and that one has 60%. So they're still going strong after 5 hours. I'm going to take them downstairs now and you can see what they're like in the dark. Okay, so I've taken them outside downstairs, and as you can see they're lighting up the porchway there. If I get too close, I'll set off the light for the building. But they've got quite a nice glow to them, haven't they? So time is now 10:40 p.m. They've been on for 8 hours. And this one is at 55%. And this one is at 60%. So they're still going strong, even after 8 hours. They're not even half done. And they are really bright as well. So if you look at them directly, they hurt your eyes, which is pretty impressive for LEDs. The time is 1:30 in the morning. They've been on for nearly 11 hours and they're showing no signs of letting up. This one is on 50% and this one is on 45% power, and yeah, they're still going strong. So yeah, they should put them in iPhones. So that's 11 hours. You do the math. I could leave them on overnight, but I'm not going to. 11 hours is more than enough for any gigs that I do. And yeah, that's it. I'm going to bed. And to the conclusion then. So let's start with the negatives. The first negative is we have an unknown battery life. Certainly on first appearance, the battery life is good, but I've only just got these, so I haven't used them for several gigs, so I don't know if that battery time decreases over time. As I use them more, I'll try and update this video. Another negative is coming from China. They're going to be too much hassle if they fail. So the cost to return them and get them back to China and everything, it's going to be too much. And so what you'll probably end up doing is, if they do go wrong, you're going to end up trying to fix them yourself, or you're going to bin them. Another downside was you don't know how much import charges are going to be. So I know at the moment on eBay these are more expensive than the amount that I paid for them. It does say on the eBay advert at the moment, I think they're 131 or 136 pound, but it also says free postage, so I don't know if that includes the import charges. Like I said, when I bought them, I think they're about 86 pounds, somewhere around that area. And then I got a message from DHL saying that it was going to cost a total of £40 to get them both delivered to me. So it was £20 each import charge. So collectively, still cheaper than what you're getting them for now. But that price that you can see might already be included, or it might not, which then takes the price up to sort of £150. Another downside is, for some, the cost of the unit might be too much of a risk. So I know some of you might be thinking you'd rather pay, you know, an extra £100 or whatever and have a branded unit that you've bought in the UK, and that's fair enough as well, because it's not a small amount of money. So when you think that you can buy lights, derby lights and stuff like that for sort of £30 to £60, and you're spending a lot more money on an uplighter. So I get that. So they're all the cons, but a lot of those are ones that come with buying stuff from China anyway. So for those of you that have bought stuff from China before, you're going to already have weighed those risks up. So let's move on to the pros then. So these are cheaper, obviously much cheaper than your branded ones. On first appearance, as I've said, as you've seen from the video, they do seem to have a long battery life. They have these new PowerCon connectors, which seem to be quite popular at the moment. They also come with a remote control. So I ordered 2 units. I've got 2 remote controls, and that's a real selling point for me. I do like having my little remote controls laid out, and I can just press buttons to get lights that I want. Also, for those of you that are more advanced and use DMX, these also have the wireless DMX capabilities. And I will, at the end of this video, just show you a clip of the manual which tells you which app to get, and also I'll show you a screenshot of the actual app itself. Not for me, but I know some of you're well into your phones and that, and for some of you, using your phone to control your wireless stuff might be right up your street. Also, they're solidly built. You know, they're really nice solid piece of construction, and they're sturdy, so they're going to take a kicking and a bashing around your gigs, if that's the case. So they're not just going to crumble when some drunk guy falls into them. They have a nice easy to use interface. So this LCD screen here, as you saw earlier from the video, it's intuitive, it's easy to use, and you're not going to get lost when you're playing around with it. The lights themselves have a really nice bright throw, so as uplighting, I think I'm going to order another 2. I think 4 will be more than enough for most of my gigs, so I'm really impressed with the actual lighting throw. They have the adjustable bracket as well, which is a selling point. And just finally, I felt that 1 week delivery time from China, all things considered, price, etc, etc, it all turned out to be good value for money, in my opinion. But it was a risk, and sometimes, you know, the risks pay off and sometimes they don't. So that's the conclusion then of these Chinese uplighters. I've been DJ80. If this video has helped you in any way, please just click on one of my music tracks, because every click helps. The links for the wireless DMX app is at the end of this video. Thanks for watching.